सर हाँ सर चालू करा. सवय सर.
हो सर.
Good morning to all of you. Myself, Dr. Jay Soda, Assistant Professor of Marathwada Shikshan Prasarak Mandal, Vinayagrao Patil Mahavidyalaya, Vizag. On behalf of Department of Library, Vinayagrao Patil Mahavidyalaya, I welcome you all. Department of Library organized 2 days online national workshop on the plagiarism and research ethics under UGC Stride Scheme Component 1 on 7 and 8 June 2021. Plagiarism and research ethics are important for teachers, researchers, and research guides also. There are certain rules of the research publication where the research ethics and plagiarism is very important one. It's my pleasure to welcome Vinayagrao Patil Mahavidyalaya College CDC member Honorable Shri Appasaheb Patil, College Principal Dr. A.M. Jide Sir, A.M. Jide Sir, Stride Coordinator Dr. S.D. Pardesh Sir, Vice Principal and IQC Coordinator Dr. B.S. Sarange Sir, and specially welcomes today's resource person, Honorable Professor Dr. Ramesh C. Gaur, Dean and Director of Library and Information Science, Indira Gandhi National Center for the Arts, New Delhi, Ministry of Culture, Government of India. He will guide us on understanding research and publication ethics, fabrication, falsification, and plagiarism, FFP. Before I inviting him to talk, I request the convener of the program, Dr. Amol Sawai sir, librarian of Vinayagrao Patil Mahavidyalaya Vizag, to introduce today's honorable resource person, Dr. Ramesh C. Gaur.
Thank you, sir. I feel honored to take the opportunity to invite today's resource person, Professor Dr. Ramesh C. Gaur. He is Dean, Director and Head, Kalanidhi Division at Indira Gandhi National Center for the Arts, New Delhi, which comes under Ministry of Culture, Government of India. Professor Gaur has been recently appointed by the Ministry of Culture, Government of India as an officer on special duty for setting up of Indian Institute of Heritage. Professor Gaur is one of the senior most faculty in Indira Gandhi National Center for the Arts and also officiate for the member secretary whenever he is on tour and or on leave. As a dean, he is successfully running various academic programs. His past assignment include University Librarian of Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi, Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, Mumbai, CRRI, CSIR, RIS, New Delhi, Management Development Institute, Gurgaon, and IMT, Ghaziabad. Professor Gaur has visited 24 countries all over the world in relation to the various assignments related to digital library and allied areas in his field. He is a recipient of prestigious 9 international and national honors and awards for his contribution. Professor Gaur is the first Indian nominated as a member of International Advisory Committee UNESCO Memory of the World Program 2018, as well as member of UNESCO Global Task Force on Indigenous Languages 2020. He is the coordinator expert group of Memory of the World Program in India. He is a member of Research Council for CSIR, National Institute of Science, Communication and Information Resources, NISCARE, New Delhi, formerly Institute of. Member of International NDLTD Board of Directors, member of various committees of International Federation of Library Association, IFLA, IFLA Program Advisory Committee on Global Cultural Heritage, academic advisory board of many major publishers, Elsevier, Springer, Royal Society of Chemistry, IFSCO, Oxford University Press, etc. Professor Gore has also served as a member of expert consultation committee for setting up of International Center on Documentary Heritage in South Korea and consultative committee on digital Dunhuang China, member of governing council in Flipnet, member of UGC National Committee for implementation of Shodh submission of and access to electronic thesis and dissertation in universities in India, member of National Advisory Board of Ishod Sindhu National Consortia, member of Draft Committee UGC Plagiarism Regulation 2018. He is a member Editorial Advisory Board, guest editor in several national and international journals. In over 31 years professional career, he has authored and edited 10 books. He has written over 75 plus articles and has presented, delivered over 600 talk in various national and international conference, webinar, workshop, etc. Has organized and directed a number of national and international conferences and other events. Such a great, knowledgeable, enthusiastic, and eminent personality with us. So I am not taking a much more time in between you and him. Now I request to Honorable Professor Dr. Ramesh C. Gaur, sir, enlightening the audience with his precious word.
Thank you, Amol, for your very kind and generous introduction. I'm grateful to you and the other authorities of the Binayak Patil Mahavidyalaya, particularly the principal, Dr. A.M. Zine, vice principal and stride coordinator, Dr. S.D. Pardesi, and IQAC coordinator, D.S. Salunaki. He is also the vice principal. First, I'm very glad that this program has been organized by library and IQAC in coordination. It is very, very important to enhance the quality of research in a college or university that a department like IQAC and the library should work together, because both have many things to offer. In any college or academic institute or research institute, no research is possible without good library and good library. So I'm glad that you have been working together and organizing such an important workshop. Let me share my PPT and then I will start my presentation. Just give me a few moments. So I hope you all can see my presentation.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So like the topic which I'm going to speak is understanding research and publication ethics. And I will be specifically focusing on falsification, fabrication, falsification, and plagiarism. We also call it FFP. These are the research misconduct, also known as scientific misconduct, because many of the things which are important in this context of research quality, I will try to cover it. So the first thing which I want to begin with highlighting the importance of various UGC regulation. In India, UGC is the controlling authority for universities and colleges. So it is important for all of us to know about these regulations. I'm sure many of you are aware of it, but it's benefit of all. I'm repeating this. The first regulation in this regard is UGC Regulation 2009, which is called Minimum Standards and Procedure for the Award of MPhil and PhD degree. As per this regulation, one important thing is that you have to deposit your electronic copy of thesis and dissertations within 30 days of award of the degree in a central repository called Shodh Ganga. And I'm sure Amol is aware of that, and he will be doing with the help of college authorities. Now, second important regulation, which I was the member of the committee, I have honor of drafting these regulations. That's the promotion of academic integrity and prevention of plagiarism in higher education institution, Regulation 2018. It was notified on 31st July 2018. It is mandatory for each and every college or university to implement these regulations. In June 2019, UGC came out with a list of quality journals. If you remember, before that, there was a list of UGC journals, but this was replaced by UGC Care list of quality reference journals. Another important thing, my topic is research and publication ethics. Why it is important? Because in December 2019, UGC has made it mandatory that every university or college having PhD program must conduct this 2 credit course for PhD students as a pre-PhD coursework. And I will try to cover many aspects of this, but this is a 2 credit course. Now let's talk about next. Many people are having doubt about self-plagiarism. So UGC clarified this by a letter in 2019. And very recently, last year, there was a document prepared under the chairmanship of Professor Rakesh Bhatnagar, former Vice Chancellor of BHU. A document which is called guidance document, uh, which is called Good Academic Research Practices, which was launched in October 2020. These all documents are available on the website of UGC as well as on other websites. So please don't hesitate to know about more about this by reading these documents. So when we talk about, I will bring you certain important facts about these regulations, and one important thing is UGC Regulation 2018. It is very important for you to implement in totality. Uh, this, according to these regulations, you should develop a good awareness and training program. You should also give the responsibility to library for organizing such workshop. Also provide a good plagiarism detection software, uh, like Turnitin, or if you are a member of uh, if you are, this number 423710 person, please mute your mic. So in this context, I think it is important to provide a good plagiarism detection software. And also it is important for all university and college to set up academic integrity panel at the level of department as well as level of institution. Like for this Vinayak Patil Mahavidyalaya, you can have uh, a departmental level panel for history department, chemistry department, or physics department. And then you should have a college level panel headed by the principal, and library and IQAC should be part of such important initiative. And the job of the departmental panel is to investigate the matter, and institution level panel are supposed to is supposed to levy down the penalties or punishment, and penalties are should be according to the UGC regulation 2018. Up to 10%, there are no penalties excluded. And then there is a 3 level of offenses, level 1 and level 2 and level 3 according to the percentage of dissimility. So my suggestions to all of you who are from different colleges and university, please check if your university or college has not implemented it. You should get it implemented. And to Vinayak Patil, if Mahavidyalaya, if you have not implemented, you should implement. The second important thing which I would like to talk about UGC care list. This UGC care list, which I have referred, uh, Sandeep Bhavasa, please mute your mic. So when we talk about UGC care list, this is the list of journals which is divided in 2 parts, part 1 and part 2, group 1 and group 2. Group 2 is all about all the journals indexed in globally recognized databases like UGC Care List, like Scopus, Web of Science, Arts and Humanity Citation Index, Source Publication, Science Citation Index, Expanded Source Publication, and Social Science Citation Index Source Publication. And those journals which are not part of Group 2 and are important journals, and this need to be included in such list. There is a procedure for this to include in the list Group 1. There is a UGC Care website. There is form available. You can apply with journal details, and such journals which are Indian journals or foreign journals in the field, especially in the field of arts, humanities, language, culture, and Indian knowledge system. So there is an empowerment committee who decide which journals should be included based on the uh, protocol defined by the UGC Care list. So now why it is important? It is important that you have to publish your article in the journal listed in UGC Care list. If you don't publish your article in UGC Care list, that will not be recognized by the UGC and you will not get a research score. Like for PhD work, it is mandatory that you should publish in 2 articles. Then these articles should be in the journals listed in UGC Care list. So this is important that you should write a good quality research, but also it is important to write a good publish in a right journal. This document, which is good academic guidance for academic and research practices, it has recommended to set up another department or cell, which is Office of the Research Integrity. IQAC has certain limitation. Either IQAC should be expanded to become a Office of Research Integrity, and IQAC activity can be part of that. Or a separate research department or Office of Research Integrity is recommended in this document. And that department should ensure understanding various kind of issues concerning ethics in research, rigor research, relevancy in research, transparency in research, respect for the process of research, impartiality in doing research, independence or autonomy in doing research, accountability, who should be accountable for good and for bad research. So these are some of the regulations and guidelines which I think everyone should know about it, and you must read all these documents which are available in public domain. Okay, so let's talk about the research, and starting from the problem formulation, the defining of purpose, designing of research questions, various kind of hypothesis, and various deciding on data collection techniques or sampling methods, uh, and finally various kind of research methodology, and also data collection, data analysis, and finally till research report, writing of the research report. In this entire components of research process, there are certain guidelines, there are certain international conventions, there are some ethical decision making are involved, and these ethical research decision making, or these ethical uh, various kind of uh, these relevant ethical, disciplinary, and financial standards in the promotion, design, conduct, evaluation, and sharing of research are referred as academic integrity or research integrity. And this includes use of honest and verifiable methods in proposing, performing, and evaluating research, reporting research results with particular attention to adherence to rules, regulation, and guidelines, following commonly accepted professional code of norms. In detail, at every point of time, every step in the research, there are various ethics in research. Research in like honesty in preparing a proposal, honesty in data collection, honesty in data analysis, honesty in research writings, honesty in publishing. So these all research ethics are multi-purpose at different steps. Objectivity in doing research, research integrity, carefulness, openness, reliability, fairness, respect for intellectual property rights like copyrights, etc. use of good and robust research methodology, confidentiality in maintaining the confidentiality of the publication at different levels, bringing out a good quality responsible publication. And also there are certain kind of ethical guidelines for supervisors, like they should show high standards of mentorship and supervision. You should respect your colleagues with whom you are collaborating. You should also respect your students. You should not misuse the authority. And also you have a certain social responsibility towards society. Like currently we are passing through a pandemic and many people believes that this corona has leaked from a lab in China. If it is true, this is against the responsibility towards society, because such virus has totally destroyed this world. So then there are certain issues like competency in doing research, various legal issues, and also how to protect animal and human subjects, or human animals and humans in this entire research process. There are certain kind of ethical and research guidelines. So these research ethics are very huge, very wide in different steps. But here, I'm not going to talk about all research ethics. I'm going to talk about, there is one component, that is research and publication ethics. So what is this research and publication ethics? Mainly, it talks about research misconduct or scientific misconduct, means errors, falsification, fabrication, and plagiarism. It is the violation of standard codes of scholarly conduct and ethical behavior in the publication of professional scientific research. Means when you want to bring out a publication, either a thesis or a research paper or a book, that time these research misconducts come into picture. It is dealing with the authorship issues, data ownership issues, various kind of permissions, ethics and consents, good peer review system, various kind of conflict of interest, very kind of complicity in funding resources, various obtaining various kind of permission, licensing for use of images or co-authorship, etc. Various kind of uh, fake use of image, etc. And also various issues concerning animal subject and human subject. So what is what are these research misconducts? These are research publication ethics are a set of common rules among authors, editors, reviewers, and publishers to protect of the scientific record. Based on consensus about standards and best practices, ensure the integrity of the scientific record. Ensure that readers can trust what they read. Means when you are bringing out a good quality research publication, people can trust you that you have done a wonderful research work. And in this context, let me go into detail why we do research, to contribute to or to extend knowledge. And how do we do this? By building on the work of others. Means referring existing articles, books, blogs, RSS feed, and all that. Means no research is possible without referring existing knowledge. There is no harm, no rules stop you from reading or referring any kind of reference material. The issue comes when, after completion of your research, you are supposed to write a research report or a research publication or a monograph. At that time, you are expected to place your research in the right context, to show that you are aware what else is happening, to show that you understand where your work fits. So your report must contain an analysis of similar and relevant works along with your original ideas. And in this context, at the time of the writing of your uh, research publication or report, you have to make a clear distinction between what is your own original work, what is your opinion about the work of others, the claims of others you are reporting, and what is actually said by others, means quotation. And this work can be ideas, description, research, data, opinions, pictures, figures, tables, audio, video, any material, even verbal. And why it is important?
that it is important that the reader, the examiner, the reviewer, the referee should understand difference between your own work, your opinion of work of others, and the verbatim work of others. And if you are unable to make that distinction, you are creating certain errors or certain kind of misconducts. And these misconducts may be fabrication, falsification, plagiarism, or any other practice that seriously deviates from practices commonly accepted in the discipline or in the academic and research communities in proposing, performing, reviewing, or reporting research and creativity. And let's discuss these misconduct one by one. Fabrication. It is the intentional act of making up data or results and recording or reporting them. Means somebody is using fake data, fake research. No research done, but data is faked and publication is brought out. I will give you an example. There was a researcher from an institute called IM Tech Chandigarh. He went to South Korea, and after returning from that place, he claimed that he has done some wonderful work, and along with supervisor, he published 7 articles in different important journals. After some time, it came to the notice that he didn't do any such research, and all was the fake data. Later, students and supervisor both were terminated from the institute. So in this context, this is a kind of academic fraud. The person who is doing it very well know it that it is wrong. It is also known as an intentional act of plagiarism, and punishment is the only solution for that. Falsification is you have done some research, but you are not getting desired result, or you may not be continuing the complete process of the research. So what you are doing manipulations. You are manipulating research materials, equipments, or processes, or changing or omitting, suppressing data or result without scientific or statistical justification. Samita, please mute yourself. So in this case, research is not accurately represented in the research report. So all these manipulations are called falsification. And this is also in a kind of academic fraud or intentional act of plagiarism. In this context, it is important for all of us to understand that uh, this is something which need to be uh, avoided. Next is plagiarism. The word plagiarized actually comes from Latin word plagiar, means to kidnap. It is the act of stealing someone else's work and attempting to pass it off as your own work. And this can be in any kind of oral, verbal, non-verbal, or textual, digital form. So in this case, it's simply you are using someone's idea, you are using someone's text or image or audio, video, etc. And but you are not giving credit to the original creator of that information or idea. So that comes under plagiarism. There are several other ways of defining plagiarism. One is unintentional or accidental plagiarism, something which you don't want to do it, but it is happening because you are using minimal or careless paraphrasing. You fail to cite properly. You are quoting excessively, like when you are using quotations, particularly in social sciences. When you are using quotations, uh, uh, it means that uh, those quotations should be here some limited. So in this case, you should know what is the legitimate or what is the kind of proper limit for that. Generally speaking, for a good quality paper, you should not have more than 10 to 15% of quotations, text from the quotations, or from summarizing, paraphrasing. No, citation should not exceed more than that. So, in this context, I would like to tell you some more things. Like sometimes you don't know how to write properly. You are not good in English writing. See, we all come from different fields and different regions, and we have different mother tongues, and we are not very good in English writing. So by we what we do, we simply just try to uh, copy some ideas and text from different sources. So in this context, it is important that one should uh, organize some kind of training in English remedial courses or something like that. Many times you are not familiar with the various citation styles, the styles of documentation. So all these things which you are doing because of unawareness or ignorance comes under unintentional or accidental plagiarism. And the best way to deal with it, check the contents through a plagiarism detection software and try to find out what are the various error in that so that you can rectify. Self-plagiarism means the plagiarism related to your own work. Many people believe that this is my work. I can use whenever I want, whatever I want, but it is not true. Your work is also a reference. So all rules of ethical international conventions or guidelines applies to you only. In this case, UGC has also very clearly defined that reproduction in part or whole of one's own previously published work without adequate citation and proper acknowledgement, and claiming the most recent work as new and original for any academic advantage amounts to text recycling, means plagiarism, and it is not acceptable. UGC has also given some more definition of self-plagiarism, like republishing the same paper already published elsewhere without due and full citation, publishing smaller accepted work from a longer and previous published paper without due and full citation in order to show a large number of publications, reusing data already used in a published work or communicated for publication in another work without due and full citation, breaking up a longer, larger study into smaller sections and publishing them as altogether new work without due and full citation. It is also called salami slicing, and paraphrasing one's own previously published work without due and full citation. So this all comes under self-plagiarism. So you have to be very careful. Punishment for self-plagiarism is the same as in the case of other form of the plagiarism, right? There is only one exception in case of self-plagiarism. A PhD student, like some of you who are doing PhD, please note, a PhD student can include his or her papers uh, in the PhD thesis. Hello, can include in the PhD thesis without any problem, provided that those research papers are written during the period of the research on the topic of the research, and the researcher should be the first author. But if you want to publish that thesis as a book, you cannot include it. In that case, you have to remove those papers. So please make all these rules clear about regulation. Now let's move to another important thing, that is called how to define which is the minor plagiarism and which is the major plagiarism. What is minor plagiarism? A small amount of paraphrasing. Naveed Akhtar, please unmute yourself. So minor plagiarism is defined as a small group of paraphrasing, quotation, or use of diagrams, charts, etc. without adequate citation. Lack of knowledge of the principles of academic integrity, poor scholarship when a student through inexperience or carelessness fails to reference appropriately or adequately, identify the source of the material which they use, inaccurate representation of the findings without deliberate distortion, lack of diligence in declaring relevant conflicts of interest. So all these things comes under minor plagiarism. What is major plagiarism? So major plagiarism is defined as extensive paraphrasing or quoting without proper citation of the source, lifting directly from a text or other academic source without reference, the use of papers or parts, therefore, from essay banks either downloaded from the internet or obtained from other sources, presenting another's design or concept as one's own, continued instances of what was initially regarded as minor plagiarism, despite warning, have been given. Other example, the willful destruction of data uh, or fabrication or falsification of data, falsification of ownership, data salami slicing, or duplicate publishing, or defamation, systematic abuse of the terms and condition of licensed research purpose, and also other systematic violation. These are the some of the points, but there may be some other issues which comes under major plagiarism. It depends on the kind of misuse. Besides this, there are some other research publication ethics issues, like including a colleague as an author on a paper in return for favor, even though the colleague did not make a serious contribution to the paper. Discussing with your colleagues confidential data from a paper that you are reviewing for a journal, using an inappropriate statistical technique in order to enhance the significance of your research, bypassing the peer review process and announcing your result through a press conference without giving peers adequate information to review your work, piracy, the deliberate exploitation of ideas from others without proper acknowledgement, abuse of intellectual property right, copyrights, failure to observe legal norms regarding copyright and other model rights, abuse of research resources, failure to observe the terms and condition of the license agreements. Besides, there are certain more things which are also comes under research and publication ethics, and duplicate publishing is also a kind of research and publication ethics. Publishing same paper or substantially similar paper with or without citation, with or without obtaining permission of copyright holder. This is also a violation. If you need to publish a paper with some very minor difference, or you want to use the same data, there are some process involved in it. You need to you need to obtain the permission of the copyright holder. You also need to inform both the editors where earlier paper was published and the editor where next paper is being proposed to publish. And you have to declare all the information that this paper, similar paper was published in so and so journal. Right? Simultaneous publishing. It is not allowed that you submit your same paper in two journals simultaneously. Why? Because it is considered a violation of the ethical. If you feel that your paper which you submitted for publication, the journal is delaying, in that case, first you should withdraw the your submitted paper, and then and your withdrawal should be with the permission of co-author if you have any co-author, and then you submit it to the next author by declaring, by disclosing details. This paper was previously submitted in so and so journal, but because of delay I have withdrawn it, and now I am submitting it for your kind of consideration. Same time you should also inform the editor of previously submitted article journal that I have withdrawn the paper and now I am submitting to so and so journal, and you should attach copies of this declaration. Salami slicing or salami publication, slicing of research contents from a meaningful paper to different papers. A single research is divided to increase the publication count. to get more recognition, to get promotion, to get some funding. It is not allowed. So this breaking up study in parts to show separate studies, or publishing, if you want to publish this paper in different languages, that is allowed with due procedure. Like suppose your article is published in Marathi and you want to publish it in English, you can do it by disclosing all the information and declaring the information. If you are using ghost writers, you have to disclose it. You cannot take credit for somebody else's work. If you are using a ghost company or ghost individual, you should provide the details and specific names of those people in your writing. Okay, so I hope in this part of presentation you are able to understand what is plagiarism, what is fabrication, what is falsification, what is different kind of research, other research publication. Now move to the next part of my presentation. That is plagiarism only an ethical issue? No, there are consequences for that. First of all, there are penalties for both students and faculty members, and penalties are depend upon the guidelines and the regulations of particular university or controlling body like UGC. In India, UGC regulations are implemented, so you have to take punishment or you have to do penalties according to it. And please believe me that this problem will not leave you. You may become a very high profile person, but if you have done anything wrong at a student level, you will be punished. This German education minister has to resign, or her PhD title was removed because at this age she was found that she plagiarized the contents in the PhD thesis. Similarly, some doctors, they were habitual plagiarists. They were punished. This was the case I was referring. I am Tech Chandigarh. Some guides also stolen the idea and text of some of the colleagues. Vice Chancellor was asked to clarify. Sometimes people can take extreme steps. In this context, it is important that uh, please avoid this disgrace, because this gentleman, Sasai, was one of the 11 authors and one paper and one of the 18 other papers. Both the papers were retracted, means found plagiarized. And in the disgrace, he committed suicide. This MPhil student in B. Narmad, South Gujarat University, also committed suicide because her MPhil dissertation was found plagiarized. So it is in the best interest of all of you not to do plagiarism. It is not in the interest of university or any country or anything. You are the most important beneficiary of not doing this plagiarism. What about publishers? They are aware of it. There is a committee on publication ethics, which was established in 1997. More than 10,000 members are there currently in this committee. All important journal publishers and journals are member of that. It is mandatory. It's a kind of requirement for a quality journal that journals should be affiliated to COPE, and COPE has certain flowchart, a process for checking plagiarism, pre-publication checking, post-publication checking. And COPE has also given certain guideline on penalties for plagiarism. Like suppose if there is a minor case of plagiarism, if paper has been submitted, author may be asked to rewrite it. If it is a major case of plagiarism, or paper has been minor case of plagiarism and paper has been published, it is to be corrected. Errata is to be published. But in case of major plagiarism, if paper has been submitted, it is to be rejected. If paper has been published, it is to be retracted. So at the same time, institutions, author of the institution of the author is also need to be informed about this case. Publishers are bound to follow these guidelines, but they can have more stricter punishment. Like in this case of Springer Journal of Thermal Spray Technology, they have added another category of intermediate plagiarism, and they have 3 level of punishment defined. Like if it is minor, a warning is given to authors, and text is changed, and citation is added. But if the intermediate case of plagiarism, article is rejected and the authors are forbidden to submit for 1 year. If it is severe, paper is rejected and authors are forbidden to submit further articles for 5 years. So these are the punishment which is stricter than the guidelines. Elsevier also has certain guidelines. So when we talk about retraction, this is like uh, retraction. It means that if your paper has been published and it is found plagiarized, so then it is being retracted. And in this case, like retraction cases are increasing till 2015, but after 2015, now cases are being reduced. There are two reasons for that. Now, most of the publishers are equipped with latest tools and technology for checking plagiarism. And in this context, it is important that uh, it is very difficult for anybody to uh, basically publish the paper with plagiarism. And second thing is the retraction process takes a lot of time. So in that process, it is being reduced slowly. Now, next part of my presentation is about how to detect plagiarism. You may be an excellent writer, you may be a very knowledgeable researcher, but there are still chances that you might have committed certain errors. And how to know those unintentional errors, unintentional plagiarism, accidental plagiarism? So, in this context, it is very important that one should uh, know about various kind of issues dealing with this plagiarism checking. How to check it? There are several softwares available. Uh, Turnitin and Authenticate. Uh, uh, there are certain Turnitin and Authenticate are two major softwares, and Urkund is the one. Turnitin and Authenticate belongs to the same company, iTunes, commercial software. Urkund is also commercial software provided by the the UGC free of cost to many universities who are member of ESO Sindhu Consortia. So in this context, it is important that we should know which software is available to us. And, I have certain few points in this regard. First thing is how to know which is the best software. In this context, there are three parameters to judge the quality of a software. And the most important parameter in this context is uh, databases for content matching. Like Turnitin is having three important databases for content matching. One is they have 45 billion web pages, they have 337 million archived student papers, they have 130 million articles. Second important thing is that how many languages this software is providing content checking. So Turnitin is providing 27 language checking. So in that context, it is important to understand that. And third important thing is that is it talks about any like user friendliness in terms of how a user is being using it. So in this context, you may be using the best software, but even best software is having certain limitations. Like this cannot check online resources. This cannot check tables, graphs, images. Just hold for a minute. Just give me 1 minute. Sorry. So in this context, it is important that we should know the limitation of a software. It cannot check mathematical formulas. It cannot check images, graphs, and various kind of tables, etc. But despite of these limitations, uh, we should have one good software. But more important, you should know about a good plagiarism detection software is what to be excluded. So in this context, we should know that these exclusions are like that. Uh, Bibliography quotations are excluded. Uh, some coincidental terms up to 14 words are excluded. Apart from that, common knowledge, there are certain unavoidable things which can be decided by like materials and methods. So there will be one common materials and methods. So in that context, it is important to understand the various limitation exclusions, because when you are checking a software, you should know what to be excluded. Okay. Every software, no software will tell you what is plagiarism. They provide you similarities. Uh, some people call it originality percentage. Some people call it similarity percentage. So in this context, Turnitin provide this kind of window. So right side is the similarity percentage, left side is the uh, your content. So you need to know how to analyze various kind of these similarities. So in this context, it is important that uh, you check each and every similarities and check for what. First thing, there may be wrong citation, there may be incomplete citation, there may be citation may be missing. So you correct the citation. Second, maybe there are sometimes similarities, wrong paraphrasing. So you can write in your own languages. There may be something common knowledge, you can ignore it. There may be something called uh, coincidental term, you can ignore it. Like a PhD student can have their paper, you can exclude it. So after exclusions, the percentage similarity should not be more than 10% as per UGC norms. So in this context, it is important for you people to understand that uh, 0% is the limit, but 0% may not be possible. So in this context, it is important that uh, you should analyze all the similarities. Mm, There may be some similarities which may not be plagiarism, but there may be certain similarities which may be plagiarism. So in this context, supervisor and researcher have to play a very important role. Okay, so now I'm going to the next part of my presentation, which is how to avoid plagiarism. Avoiding plagiarism is very important. So in this context, simply be honest while writing a research paper. You should know various kind of plagiarism, how to detect and how to avoid it. You should also read the guidelines very carefully. When you are deciding to publish your article in a journal, you should first choose a journal by writing a abstract and a title. Then you should read the guidelines and then you start writing the article. And also you should attend a research methodology workshop like this, English Medical courses, various kind of other training in reference management tools, various kind of library ordination programs. Author workshops are very important. I think Amol can organize an author workshop by inviting important editors from Elsevier, Bailey, or Springer, etc. It is also important that you should educate your student how to read, and also you should have a registry system. You should have researcher ID, like how to register on this free software called Orchid. It is just like a Aadhaar card for Indian citizens. So you should register yourself here, and it is free, and it has many advantages. It is enhance the visibility. It help in citation verification. It also help in various ways of when you submit your article. Many publishers are part of Orchid, so you need not to provide your various details. To enhance the visibility of research, it is also important that you should register yourself on the platforms like ResearchGate and academia, right? Now, when you are writing your research, you should know, because you may be reading various articles, various books or blogs or various kind of sources. So you should understand how to integrate ideas or text from these sources in your writings. So this is something very important for everybody to understand, that how to use this, and also what is the role of your source in your paper. Which source is important in your paper? What you want to use as a quotation, you want to use as a summarize, a paraphrasing or summarizing. I think this is important for you to understand, and which part of the uh, source means text or idea or you want to use in your writing. And when you use a source, you should remember that main focus of your paper should always be on what you are saying rather than what source is saying. And also it is important that you should always strike a balance between your source and your own voice. Please remember, it is not to add the number of words to enhance the size of the paper. It is to enhance the quality of your research, this kind of argument or something. So when you are writing a paper, please don't hesitate. Nobody is expecting you to write in a paper your first attempt as an excellent paper. Everybody has to make a beginning, and by virtue of experience, you become more knowledgeable and more good quality researcher. So whatever you feel you should write, try your best and try to use your own words as much as possible. If you are using some text, properly cite it. There are only three ways to use others' material: summarizing, paraphrasing, and quoting. Please note, there is no other way. Summarizing: when you summarize, you provide your readers with a condensed version of an author's key points. A summary can be as short as few sentences or much longer, depending on the complexity of the text and the level of detail you wish to provide to your readers. Correct. But after summarization, also you need to cite source, because idea belongs to somebody else, not to you. Similarly, paraphrasing: a paraphrase is a restatement in your own words of someone else's idea. Changing a few words of the original sentence does not make your writing legitimate. You must change both the words and sentence structure of the original without changing the contents, by changing the order and structure of the sentences, by using different synonyms and different form of the words, may change the voice or perspective. Even after that, you need to cite the source. You should remember that uh, uh, you should make sure that this is the source you should make. Next thing is the quotation. When you are using quotation, you should understand various things about quotation. What is quoting? When to quote? How much to quote? When do I incorporate quotation in my paper? Quoting within quotes. How do I include quotes in my paper? Single versus double quotation, punctuating quotation. So when to quote? The basic rule of thumb in all discipline is that you should only quote different directly from the text when it is important for your reader to see the actual language used by the author of the source. Quotations have certain kind of relationship with your original idea, some kind of connect, some kind of argument, justification, some kind of linkages. Quotation is not to increase the number of words, and when you are using quotation, you should know how much you are using, and according to you need to use the rules. Like if what is quotation basically? Quotation is a word, sentence, or sentences that a writer copies exactly verbatim from a source. And if quotation is up to 39 words, you should enclose in quotation marks. If it is more than 40 or more words, it stand alone without quotation marks. But if you are using automated citation tool like Mendeley and Note, you need not to worry about this. You should, and you don't require anybody's permission to use quotation, because right to quote or right of quotation or quotation right is one of copyright exception provided by the Verney Convention. So you can use any quotation in your paper or writings without any permission. However, you should use when to use single quotation, when to use double quotation, when to punctuate quotation. Okay. Uh, but if you are using different citation tools like Mendeley, other things, it is automatically taken care. Now, one important thing is that common knowledge, which need not to be cited. What is common knowledge? A well-known fact, the information that is likely to appear in numerous sources and to be familiar to large number of people. In this case, in this case, you can uh, you know not to cite the quotation. But if you have any doubt, you must cite it. Some examples of common knowledge, like smoking can cause respiratory disease such as emphysema and cancer. Another important thing you should know when you are working in group, some assignments and assigned practical tasks require you to work in groups. Sometimes you will submit a single piece of work as a joint report, and other times you will work together but submit a separate report. In all cases, you need to acknowledge the collaborator and partner. This I have already explained. Is research student, PhD student can include uh, his research paper in the PhD thesis, provided papers are written during the period of the research on the topic of the research, and the researcher is the first author. Now, last part of the second last part of my presentation is it is always better to use automatic citation tool, and also you should understand what is citation, how do I start source, what is difference between bibliography and annotated bibliography, difference between references and bibliography, and note and footnote. All these things should be known to you, and then you should also need understand that what how to cite, what are the different types of citation styles, and in these citation styles, which citation style I should use. Many times guidelines are given to use citation style. Sometimes you have to choose on your own. So according to your subject discipline, if no citation style is recommended, you can choose any of these citation styles. But remember, manually doing citation is very difficult and it is not recommended, because there are a number of things which require. So in this context, it is important to understand that there is a different way of rendering various kind of citation styles. Like if you see this book chapter or book title, the year is in the end in case of this MLA citation style. But if you go to APA style, the year is written in the beginning along with the author. So to avoid all these confusions and to learn about this, better to use uh, some kind of automatic citation tools. EndNote is one which is very popular. It is available free with Web of Science. I always recommend Manley because of it's a variety of regions. It is one of the best software, and it has both desktop and Manley. It is also a social networking platform. It is also a research organizer. It has multiple features, and I think you should have a training program. I cannot explain more about this, but I believe that your college should organize a training program on Mendeley and other software tools. The one of the beauty of this particular Mendeley tool is that you can store all your research readings, your writings, your references in one single desktop view. And when you are reading your article, you should not read in the hard disk or in photocopy. You should read in PDF file. And when you open a PDF file in Mendeley, you have option to mark, highlight, edit, or put some notes, and these are automatically saved. It is important for a PhD student. Suppose a PhD student after 5 years start writing a thesis, he may not remember or she may not remember that which reference I have used, what were the ideas I want to take, what was the quotation I want to use. So this can help in that also. Zotero is the another free software. It is also good, but I always recommend Mendeley for this use. So now I think let me conclude my presentation saying that plagiarism is need to be stopped because it is a kind of theft. It should be prevented at all levels. It is not in the interest of either researcher or institution or country. Uh, it can be reduced by proper awareness, counseling, and following strict research and ethical guidelines, and open and transparent policy by putting content online, etc. With this, I acknowledge my all sources which I have used in my presentation. All have been duly acknowledged. In case of any omission, it's duly regretted. This is my email ID. I will be happy to answer your questions here. But if there are any question left, you can email me. I will be happy to answer you. And now I will stop share my presentation and will come back to your platform to take up the any questions or clarification or comments on this presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now the session is open for the questions. If anyone is having questions, you are.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good
Sir, this is
afternoon.
Satish Faraday. Sir, very the presentation was very nice and informative. Sir, my question is, sir, is there any Scopus journals for zoology or biology? Uh, uh, Free journals or या तो less costing?
See, when you want to publish any article,
Okay.
don't think of Scopus or Web of Science. As an Indian researcher, you should go to UGC Care List website and search the journal. So there are two ways of selecting a quality journal. One is that many publishers, like Scopus is having a Scopus Journal Finder database. So you prepare the abstract and summary and the title of your article, and go to the Scopus Finder or Web of Science Journal Finder or Springer Journal Finder or Biles Journal Finder database, and just provide your uh, title and the abstract. According to that, that database will recommend you these are the most suitable journal for your research. And after noting down title of these journals, then you should go to UGC website and check in UGC care list. See, if you are searching on Scopus, doesn't mean that that journal is part of Scopus. And if it is their part of Scopus, then it is fine. It is to be the part of UGC care list. So first you choose a good quality journal using various kind of journal finder databases. If you want to know more about that, one of my I'm having a YouTube channel, Professor Ramesh C. God. You all should register and go to that tube channel. There are hundreds of such talks are available there, and there is one of the talk how to choose quality journals. So go through my presentation in that talk and noted down the databases through which you can search and find out which is the quality journal, and then you should search that journal in UGC care list. If it is available in UGC care list, then you can submit your article to that.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you, sir.
Hello. Good
Yes,
afternoon,
please.
sir.
Yeah,
Good
good
afternoon,
afternoon.
sir.
Yeah.
I'm Dr. Jadhav.
Yeah,
I want to
Dr.
ask one row question regarding the previous question. What is the quality difference between Group 1 and Group 2 journals, which is quoted in your presentation?
See, Group 2 journals quality parameters are defined by the individual indexing databases like Scopus. Scopus define the quality parameters of the journals. They have their own quality parameters. Similarly, Web of Science is having their own quality parameters, which are very high and internationally recognized. When things come to the quality parameter in list group 1, these quality parameters are equivalent of Scopus and Web of Science, but not as high as in case of Scopus and Web of Science, because there are certain relaxation, because many of the Indian journals need to be encouraged. So if you talk about international quality parameters, Scopus and Web of Science means list group 2 are highest in terms of quality parameters, and list group 1 are based on Indian condition, Indian requirement. And these parameters are defined by a committee which is taking care of which journals should be included in the list group 1.
Sir, I want to ask which kind of relaxation is given by the Indian journals, which is not
If you go to the website of UGC care list, there is a journal analysis cell,
yeah.
and all the parameters are listed there. So you can download those parameters, like journal should be that many year old, the journal should be having ISSN number, journal should be, if it is an open access journal, journal should be in DOAJ or some other thing. So there are a number of quality parameters which UGC CARE has defined, and these quality parameters are analyzed before including any journal. So these journals are also of good quality.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hello.
Bhavin. Yeah,
Hello.
Bhavin. Yeah, Dr. Chauhan.
Huh. Nice. It available on your YouTube channel?
Can you repeat? Your voice was breaking initially. Can you repeat your question?
Yes, I want to know that the presentation given just now, is it available on your YouTube channel?
Yes.
Yes.
There are several such talks are available on the YouTube channel.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Any more questions?
Hello,
Yes, please.
I am Ashwin Amrutkar.
Yes, Ashwin.
Yes, I want to know, sir, how many percent plagiarism can consider to any particular research journal or research paper? How many can consider plagiarism, sir?
See, generally, no plagiarism is accepted. But when we talk about similarities, see, these international journals, they don't go by the UGC parameters of 10%.
स्प्राइट components first मतलब
So what they do,
organize करा
when you submit a paper
parameters
to any
slide में
journal
डालने
publisher like Elsevier,
नहीं
Elsevier or
विनय को पढ़ी
Springer,
खोले ला
Sunil, unmute. So when you submit any journal article to any of international journals, these journals have their own parameters. For first, when you submit, they check the similarities percentage. So ranging between my understanding is that ranging between 15 up to 25%, they can accept your paper for first uh, like screening. Then it is sent to this referee or reviewer. After reviewer and editors take decision that the similarities shown in your paper are plagiarism or these are coincidental or something common materials and methods, because as I mentioned to you, all similarities are not plagiarism or any similarities can be plagiarism. So keeping that in mind, publishers do not reject if your paper is having 25% similarities in one go. They go through it and they see the quality and they see the why similarities are there. After analyzing that, they decide on publishing the paper. Right?
Any question again?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Dr.
Hello.
Yeah, Dr.
Yes, sir. I want to ask if it is necessary to open our Google Scholar account or Orchid account.
Very important. And
Hello.
if you are a researcher, it is mandatory or it is very essential because see, ORCID give you a register ID. So when you submit in a paper to any journal, international journal,
Yeah.
it help you in because your profile is already there. Second thing,
Yeah.
Google Scholar provide you your H index, I index, and all those things, I10 index, etc. So Google Scholar help you in knowing various kind of your citation to your paper. It also help in visibility, enhancing visibility of your research. So I recommend both Google Scholar and ORCID should be used, and you should have all should have account on both Google Scholar and ORCID.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Any question there again?
I'm Dr. Gore here. I just want to know if the librarian is assigned the detection of plagiarism, what precautions or what skills actually one should have for that purpose?
Very important question, Bhakti. See, last almost 10 years, I am promoting this that this is the domain of the librarians. This citation, plagiarism, all these things are domain expertise of the librarians. And one should understand that being a domain expert and also one of the important department in a university in terms of research. No research is possible without library. So in this context, I think library should take a lead. And what kind of important skill a librarian should have in this regard? First, a librarian should understand what is plagiarism, how to detect plagiarism, and there should be a good training on use of various training softwares like Turnitin or Urkund, whatever you are using, you should thoroughly know. Like I give an example, when I was in JNU, one of student came to me and says, "Sir, that I have 25% similarities, and your staff told me that it is allowed. Up to 25% similarities are allowed." Then I asked him, I called that staff and I told student, no, it is wrong. It is not allowed. So then I asked my staff, why you told him that 25% similarities are allowed? He says, sir, in Turnitin, 25 up to 25%, it show green color. Green color means it is allowed. So many times people don't have proper understanding. So the person who is doing plagiarism detection, he should know how to use the basic, how to set the filters, what to be excluded, what not to be excluded. All these things should be known to a person who is checking the plagiarism contents and using various kind of software. Apart from that, that person should also know various kind of citation methods and understanding, like suppose any citation is wrong, and because of that he or she should guide the students or faculty member that this quotation is not in double quotes, and if it is more than 40 words, it should be in left indented. And in that context, use of software like Mendeley or some other tool should be recommended. So a librarian should also know various kind of citation tools and citation styles and citation methods. And more than that, he or she should also know about these regulations I'm talking about, what UGC regulation is all about, what are the different kind of other UGC guidelines on self-plagiarism. So a librarian should not just be a person just checking out from software and telling 10% similarities, 20% similarity. That is not the job. Even a student can do it himself or herself. A faculty can check the similarities by using any software. Librarian should be well, like whatever I'm talking in this presentation, starting from what are the various kind of research publication ethics, what is plagiarism, how to detect, what are the consequences, how to avoid it, and where all these things should be known to a librarian, because this is the domain expertise of library. And for in any college or university, library should be integral part of research process. Librarian has multiple roles to play in this research process.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, Jan.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, Bhitri.
Can we republish our own paper in other language?
Yes, we can republish by proper procedure. Like suppose your paper is published in a journal in suppose Marathi. So what is the first thing you have to do? First thing, you have to take permission from the editor of the Marathi journal that I want to publish this journal to so and so any other language journal. So that permission is required. After that, when you are submitting, Shamla, please mute. When you are submitting that article to any other language journal, then you have to give a declaration that this article was previously published in so and so journal in Marathi language, and now I would like to republish in English language for wider publicity or wider dissemination of information. And if the editor agree that this is a public paper publication, it's a quality journal, it all depend upon the editor of the new journal where you are proposing to publish in other language. If they found it quality journal, and when they will be publishing it, they have to put in footnotes. You have to provide it. This article was previously published in so and so language in so and so journal. So, any other question?
Hello.
Yeah, Dr.
Hello.
Bhavan. Yeah, Dr.
Yes,
Bhavan.
sir. Sir, my question is very different. How the post-doctorate opportunity and fellowship in the library science subject in the India or other side countries?
See, currently the Fulbright Fellowship was stopped in 2005. We have few fellowship, like we have Commonwealth Fellowship, we have Indo-Canadian Fellowship from Canada, and we have some other short-term many just say ALA or SLA. They provide some opportunities for some conference or something like smaller kind of fellowship. When we talk about fellowship postdoctor, it's India library science comes under social sciences and humanities. So ICSR postdoc fellowship is available. You can apply for it. And apart from that, these are the things which I am aware of right now. May not able to recall anything.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Now we move to the next part. I request Dr. Bhimrao Jadhav sir, Assistant Professor, Vinayakra Patil Mahavidyalaya, Vaidapur, to give his remark.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you very much, sir. The enthusiastic personality of Professor Ramesh Gaur sir deliver very nice talk on understand research and publication ethics, fabrication, falsification, and plagiarism. Sir, you focus on various topics of ethics in research writing. Sir, also focus on academic integrity and research integrity. What are the defined research ethics, the purpose of the research, fabrication in research, falsification, and so on. Sir, also focus on major and minor plagiarism in research, how to publish our research in various journals, and what the publisher do with our research. He also focus on major and minor plagiarism and the different types of the plagiarism detection tools and how to use it. He also focus on 13 and Urkun type of softwares and its advantages as well as the limitations. Sir also focus on when and how to summarize code and so on. Sir also give brief introduction about the repressing citation and style of the citations. Sir also focus on the various tools for academic writing in research. Thank you, sir, for the enlightening our participant from across the country and stay with us on this platform. Thank you, sir. Have a nice day.
Thank you, and all the best to all of you. I look
Thank you.
forward to you. Okay,
Thank you.
bye bye. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you. Take care, sir.
The participant, Mr. Santosh Bhagwat.
सवय सर अनम्यूट करा.
Hello. I request Mr. Sunil Bhosle sir, librarian of Yeshwantrao Chauhan Mahavidyalaya Ambajogai, to give his views about the 2 days online workshop.
Thank you, Dr. J.P. Sonar, sir, given me opportunity. Vinayak Rao Patil College, Vijaypur, Department of Library, organizing 2-day national online workshop on plagiarism and research ethics. On this topic, yesterday and today's given lot of information. We got a different facet. Thank you, Dr. Rajendra Kumbar, sir. And also, today's resource person, Dr. Ramesh Gaur, sir. You are given valuable information of plagiarism. We got too much information in this session. Sir, really not have words for valuable presentation. We are use your information in our future for research purpose. And also thankful this college principal, Dr. Jene sir, providing this platform. And also thankful coordinator of IPSC and STRIDE. And especially thankful of this workshop convener, Dr. Amol Savai sir. Thank you. Over to Dr. Sonar sir.
Thank you, sir. I request Mr. Santosh Bhagwat sir, librarian of Bhai Chandela College, Social Work, Solapur, to give his views about this program.
Good afternoon, everybody. I am Santosh Bhagwat, librarian by Chandu Singh Chandele, College of Social Work, Solapur, and research scholar of library science subject, Punyashlok Ahilya Devi Holkar, Solapur University, Solapur. It's my immense pleasure to express my sincere gratitude towards Department of Library, Vinayak Rao Patil, College, Vijaypur, Aurangabad, Maharashtra, for organizing this wonderful workshop on plagiarism and research ethics. I am really thankful to both the resource person, yesterday's resource person Dr. Rajendra Kumbar sir and today's resource person Professor Dr. Ramesh Gaur sir, who providing valuable and useful information on topics like ethical practices in research and writing, as well as understand research and publication ethics respectively. I am really helpful this useful information using while doing my research work activity. I am giving a lot of thanks for the whole workshop organizing committee members, including Principal Dr. Jine sir, Vice Principal and IUPSC Coordinator Dr. Salunke sir, Site Coordinator Pardeshi sir, Dr. Pardeshi sir, as well as Dr. Babar sir, Dr. Kalwande sir, and Sonar sir, and special thanks to Dr. Amol sir, who giving me this opportunity to share my feeling about this workshop. Once again, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Now I request our president of this workshop, Principal of Vinayak Rao Patil Mahavidyalaya, Dr. Jine sir, to deliver his presidential address.
Good afternoon to all of you. The inaugurator, Professor Subhash Chauhan, the resource persons, Professor Rajendra Kumar, and Professor Ramesh Gaur, convener of the workshop, Dr. A.B. Savai, STIDE coordinator, Dr. Sandeep Pardesi, IQAC coordinator, Dr. Dadasaheb Salunke, and participants. We are at the verge of completion of this 2-day online workshop on ethics and plagiarism. In general, researchers try to abide by the code of research ethics, but many of them are not fully aware of plagiarism, unintentionally committing the research misconduct when they write a research paper. This workshop's purpose was to introduce clear and easy guidelines which helps researcher to avoid accidental plagiarism, and it is expected to contribute building a climate and encouraging creative research among scholars. Research ethics are the moral principles that govern how researchers should carry out their work. These principles are used to shape research regulations agreed by groups such as university, governing bodies, communities, or governments. All researchers should follow the regulations that apply to their work. Research ethics are important for a number of reasons. They promote the aims of research, such as expanding knowledge. They support the values required for collaborative work, such as mutual respect and fairness. This is essential because scientific research depends on collaboration between researcher and groups. Researcher must be aware of research ethics and research publication ethics. As Gauser said, the word plagiarism comes from the Latin word plagiaria, which means to kidnap. Plagiarism is to steal other people's creative idea, research model, hypothesis, methods, definition, variables, images, tables, and graphs, and use them without reasonable attribution to their true sources. There are various types of plagiarism. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
On this side, some problems are there.
No, sir. Continue.
Okay. There are various types of plagiarism. Some people assert plagiarism into idea plagiarism, text plagiarism, mosaic plagiarism, and idea plagiarism. The most notified reason may be the easy access to the technology, which provides the readers with the variety of authors on a particular issue. People, while studying or conducting research, is as perhaps ethically weak as they lose the standard of mind and conduct to sense between what is wrong and right. There may be many reasons for the same, but the idea of copying to such an extent that people have lost their imaginative skill as they are by in the art of copying. The resource persons nicely explain the important aspects of the theme of workshop, like the importance role of library resources in research, what is the research publication ethics, what is the plagiarism and different types of plagiarism. Gausser also nicely explained the falsification and fabrication and give on the tips how to avoid the unintentional and accidental plagiarism. They also discussed on the UGC regulations regarding to plagiarism and tools of plagiarism. The new researchers might have been definitely benefited from this workshop. I appreciate the efforts of Dr. Savai for choosing such theme for workshop. With these few words, I conclude my presidential address. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite convener of this workshop, Dr. Amol Savai, sir, librarian of the Nagara Patil Mahavidyalaya, Vaijapur, Aurangabad, to propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you, sir. I, convener of this workshop entitled Plagiarism and Research Ethics, here to express my gratitude to everyone for grand success of this workshop. I would like to express my sincere thanks to Marathwada Shikshan Prasarak Mandal's President, Honorable Sri Prakash Dada Solonke, as a continuous guidance and support us. I would like to express my sincere thanks to Marathwada Shikshan Prasarak Mandal's Secretary, Honorable Sri Satish Chavan, for his guidance and support during this workshop. I would like to express my sincere thanks to member of Marathwada Shikshan Prasarak Mandals and head of CDC, Vinayakra Patil Mahavidyalaya, Vaijapur, Rushibhushan, Honorable Sri Appa Sahib Patil, for his kind cooperation and support, and as well as giving best wishes to grand success of this workshop. I would like to express my sincere thanks to organizer chair, Honorable Principal Dr. A.M. Jine sir, for his continuous guidance since announcement of the workshop to till time. I am very much thankful to the chief guest of this workshop, Honorable Professor Dr. Subhash Chavan sir, Director of Knowledge Resource Center and Head Department of Library and Information Science, SNDT Women's University, Mumbai, for his very brief and informative inaugural speech to our participants. I would like to express my sincere thanks to first session resource person of this workshop, Honorable Professor Dr. Rajendra Kumar Sir, Head, Department of Library and Information Science, Savitribai Phule Pune University, Pune, for his fruitful thoughts on ethical practices in research and writing. I take this opportunity to thanks today's resource person, Honorable Professor Dr. Ramesh C. Gaur, is Dean, Director, and Head Kalanidhi Division at Indira Gandhi National Center for the Arts, New Delhi, which comes under Ministry of Culture, Government of India, for his valuable and informative lecture on understanding the research and publication ethics, fabrication, falsification, and plagiarism. Sir, your lecture definitely enlightening to our delegates. Words aren't enough to describe my gratitude and admiration towards you. My thanks also go to Vice Principal and Site Coordinator Dr. S.D. Pardeshi Sir for giving opportunity to lead this workshop. I would like to express my sincere thanks to Vice Principal and IQC Coordinator Dr. D.S. Salunke Sir for continuous support and guidance. Without technical support, we couldn't come to the sweet end of the program. So I acknowledge the unwavering support received from Dr. Dattatreya Kalbande, Librarian J. Vatumala Sadhubela Girls College, Ulhasnagar, Dr. Someshwar Babar Sir, Dr. Jayanta Sonar Sir, Dr. Bhimrao Jadhav Sir, Dr. Kishore Bholane Sir, Registrar Mr. Vijay Aher Sir, Deepak Telekar, and my all library staff. Last but not least, I am very much thankful to all the participants from Maharashtra, Delhi, Andhra Pradesh, Goa, Gujarat, Haryana, Jammu Kashmir, Jharkhand, Karnataka, Kerala, Rajasthan, Pachim Bengal, Punjab, and all over India. Once again, thank you everyone whose contribution has made this workshop successfully. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Now I request all the participants to fill the feedback forms of the yesterday and today's. If you are not able to fill this feedback form, then you will not be able to get the certificates. So it is very important. With the permission of the president of this function, I declare that this function is concluded. Thank you very much.
But leave the meeting.